Hey guys, welcome back to Glam Finds, and I'm here with another Cheapie review. And this is one that I actually put off buying for a while, but I want to say this brand's prices are going up, but I feel like most prices are going up these days. So without further ado, from the house of Salvatore Ferragamo, it's Ferragamo Acqua Essenziale Blu. So for the longest time, I heard if you like Dylan Blue, Acqua Essenziale Blu is going to be really close to it. It's pretty much a clone of it, whatever. I've heard like that said in different ways. So I was like, you know, I already have Dylan Blue, why would I need this? But one day I heard someone just say, if you like one, you'll like the other. I'm like, okay, I do like Dylan Blue. So I came across this tester for pretty inexpensive. I'm going to link it down below, especially if it's still available. It's really hard to know what's going to be available because a lot of guys will comment on the video the day it's released and say it's not available anymore, but it was available the day before, so that's another rant all on its own. Let's talk about this fragrance. It was a lot cheaper to get a tester. I actually couldn't find full presentation when I bought this. There is one available now, but it was way more than I paid for this tester, which we'll talk about at the end. So let's talk about the notes of this fragrance, the comparisons, and what you're really gonna smell. So I don't want to get too in-depth on the notes, but you've got a citrus and cardamom top. You've got lavender and woodiness with cypriol oil, which we'll talk about in a second, in the mid. And then you've got the tonka and ambroxan, benzo and patchouli, that honestly kind of what you see in the notes in a lot of blue fragrance bases. So the reason I wanted to talk about the cypriol, I feel like cypriol sometimes, depending on how it's used, will give something like almost a smoky nuance, but I don't get it here at all. So the comparisons with this and Dylan Blue, other than the fact that they're blue fragrances, I don't pick up on. Yeah, I mean, they're blue. I don't really liken a lot of blue fragrances to each other than the fact that, yeah, they're heavy in ambroxan, and you know, a lot of times they're gonna have a tonka note in the base, but for the most part, I don't think Sauvage smells like Bleu de Chanel, and I don't think that smells like Dylan Blue, and I don't think that smells like this. Like, other than the fact that they are blue fragrances, which just means that they're honestly people-pleasing and they've got a nice dose of ambroxan, I don't think that they all smell alike, and I don't think that this is that close to Dylan Blue. I actually feel like this is a lot brighter than Dylan Blue, and I feel like the lavender note is really present here, and it's a really nice sweet lavender. So yeah, the tonka is very noticeable. It's very prominent. The ambroxan just ties it all together, but the way ambroxan is used here, in my opinion, is different. Dylan Blue is more aromatic by a good amount. This is just a really nice, fun, playful blue fragrance that's got a nice, sweet, and fresh nature to it. The cardamom's not going to come off the way that you're thinking. It's not like a really warm cardamom or anything like that. To be honest, I don't feel like cardamom's very prominent in here. What I'm really smelling the most is citruses, the lavender, the tonka, and the ambroxan. Those are the four notes that really come together in this for me. Yeah. And it's just really nice. And of course the woodiness. But woodiness, I feel like the woody notes typically pull a fragrance together. And they're usually hiding in the background. Maybe hiding isn't the word, but they're usually background notes and they're just pulling things together. So that's what you really are gonna smell in this. And I think it smells really good, really easy to wear. It is not groundbreaking, not at all. But if you like blue fragrances, it's gonna be a real tough one for you to not love this fragrance, because as soon as I smelled it, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna say this. I've smelled the entire Uomo line. So Uomo Signature, Uomo Casual Life, and Uomo Urban. Urban is the one that actually my dad has now, but that is my favorite out of all four of them. The regular one was too sweet. I ended up decanting it. Then I got Signature. I'm trying to give it more of a chance now, but Casual Life also, I'm gonna give both of those more of a chance, but this, for me, is better than that entire lineup. So let's go ahead and talk about performance, because that actually floored me too. I've never heard really anything good about performance of this, like, oh, it's still in blue, but you know, It doesn't last that long. I got over 12 hours of this. I'm not saying it was blasting off of my skin for 12 hours, but it was definitely present. I was getting wafts of myself. One spray to each side of my neck, because that's kind of what I'm going lower with my sprays and seeing how far I can get. This one spray on each side of my neck, all workday and then some. And I wanted to spray something different on my hand when I got home, but I couldn't because it was still there. So performance of this, I've gotten over 12 hours of longevity, and in terms of projection, the first couple of hours, really good. I wouldn't say beast mode, but I don't really look for that. I think the sillage bubble is the more important thing, and you get really good sillage for, oh man, most of the wearing experience of this fragrance. So it is gonna sit closer to the skin than the last few hours, but for how much this fragrance cost, I get amazing performance. Now it does have ambroxan, so I was thinking maybe I could smell it so well because I only did 2 sprays. A lot of times with ambroxan, if you're spraying too much, you're gonna go nose blind very quickly. So definitely avoid anything right here. And if you're staying away from your nose and you're going just the sides of the neck, I think you'll get really good performance. Just make sure you have nice lotioned up skin, because that's gonna hold on to fragrance a lot longer. Dry skin just absorbs it. And I mean, I feel like we've talked about this quite a bit in the past. Now, in terms of who can wear it, I think anyone can wear it, but it is more playful than every blue fragrance that I've tried to date. So I think for the most part, I mean, other than the bubblegummy ones, because those are more playful. Yeah, there's no age on this, but it is pretty playful. It's not particularly mature. It's one of my, more youthful blue fragrances. And I'm gonna say this, blue fragrances typically run pretty masculine in comparison, but out of everything, because of this sweet nature of this, and it's sweeter than all the ones that I have that are blue fragrances, this is gonna lean a tad more in the unisex department. So on my skin, in the dry down, I would say after the first couple of hours, it was coming off pretty feminine. So I'm gonna say it depends on skin. I'm not saying it's a feminine fragrance at all. Remember, skin plays with fragrance differently. It just seems like this one can be more unisex than pretty much any blue fragrance. So yeah, it smells really good, guys. Like, it's really hard to not keep smelling it. Now, I want to say this again because you can tell by my smell that I really like it. It's not groundbreaking, but it's just easy. So in terms of occasions, it's so versatile. You probably wouldn't go formal with it if you have a ton of fragrances, but if you only wanted to keep 1 or 2 fragrances, there is no occasion you wouldn't wear this in. It would probably be more a spring, summer, fall fragrance, but honestly, I have no issue reaching for this in the cold, especially because it performs really well, at least off of my skin. So yeah, season-wise, yeah, probably more spring, summer forward, but it'll translate right into fall, and then I think it'll transition into winter with you guys as well, if you wanted to. Again, really what I'm trying to say is it's a Swiss Army knife. You could wear it any occasion, but because of the citrus notes, we all know what it's meant for. Again, though, day, night, you can wear it anytime. It is more daytime appropriate than a lot of other blue fragrances that have maybe like an incensey vibe or something a little darker. This really doesn't have any darkness. So just kind of keep all that in mind. Just think about how much I'm talking here. I'm talking because I actually really like this fragrance, and I think that's typically obvious when I like a fragrance, and I like it a lot. Price of this, I got this for under $30 as a tester. If I can find it, I'm gonna link it down below. Honestly, I don't feel like it's redundant with Dylan Blue unless you're somebody who doesn't want to own too many blue fragrances, because again, it is a blue fragrance. And I'm going to take another whiff here just for funsies. Yeah, it's just playful and easy to like. Compliments. This one got me compliments the first day I wore it from a stranger. So it is going to be a compliment getter. And this one is going to be more likely to have people that you don't know saying something, because the sillage of this is really nice. I actually had someone tell me that they're not that into fragrances, but whatever I'm wearing smelled really good, and she asked me to write it down. So I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. Like, that doesn't always happen to me. Compliments, this is a win, guys. Like, there's nothing negative I can say about this fragrance other than the fact that if you're rocking a huge collection and you don't need any more blue fragrances, it's probably not going to be for you. But if you can find this, because the Ferragamo line is really getting just a lot pricier than it used to be, but if you can find it, snag it. if you've tried this fragrance, comment down below. Let me know what you think. My next one on the block is going to be, I'm going to try to pick up Acqua Essenziale, the original, and then I haven't been able to find Colonia lately, but if I can find it, I'm going to pick that one up too, because it seems like this line is going to be a little bit more up my alley. They're just real easy to wear versus the Uomo line, which I did my best. As always, thank you guys for watching. Remember to like this video if you liked it, be subscribed to my channel, hit that notification bell to get notified when I drop another video, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!